Hey, my friends, just coming to you today from Fayetteville, Arkansas, where me and my family have the wonderful opportunity to be out here spending some time visiting some friends. We lived out here about 5 years ago and haven't been back in a long time. And today I just really wanted to continue the conversation around ownership and taking ownership over your life. Last time we talked about eliminating excuses and blame and criticism from our habits and from our life, and getting rid of that negative energy. And talked about how ownership, even though we can't control every event or every conversation that arises, however, we can control our responses. We can control our actions in response to those events. And just as an example, someone comes up to me and says, Jake, you are just the stupidest person I've ever met in my life. Well, whoa, right? There's many different ways I can respond to that. And on one hand, I can say, some sort of cutting, negative, mean thing in response, or, I can ultimately punch the person. I can do all sorts of different things that are just negative and angry. Or on the other hand, I can say, hey, you know what? Sorry you feel that way. Not sure what I've done to cause you to feel that way. Ultimately, I disagree with your assessment, and have a nice day. Right? And one response, right, the negative response, is ultimately going to just cause the situation to deteriorate further, and both parties are going to leave just feeling miserable and bad and angry and all sorts of negative things. And the other allows me to take the high road and ultimately just continue being at peace with myself and to de-escalate that situation. Now, as we eliminate a lot of this negativity from our lives and our negative responses, ultimately that can end up creating a kind of vacuum in our life. Some of us have really bad habits, and we have a tendency to just, our recourse is to go to the negative. And so changing that and going to the positive can be very difficult. But here's a few tips on things you can replace that negativity with. And I'll first off, just replace the hate and resentment, the blame and criticism. Replace those things and the way you feel about others. Replace that just with love and with kindness. And instead of feeling bad towards others and resenting others or blaming them for things, ultimately realize that every single person around you is just doing their best with what they have. Right? They're trying to figure life out the same way you are, and ultimately they are imperfect like each of us are. And so 99% of the people you meet are not going to be maliciously trying to hold you back, or they're not going to be maliciously trying to offend you. It's just their own imperfections peeking through, and when we realize that, right, we're able to take that negativity out and replace it with just love and kindness and compassion for those other people. Right, so that's number one. Number two, replace the jealousy, replace greed with gratitude. Take stock over your life, and instead of just feeling, jealousy that some other people might have more money than you do, or they might have a nicer house or a fancier car, or they might be able to travel all the time. Right? Instead of feeling jealousy or greed or covetousness for those things or towards those people, right, take stock of your life and just kind of take inventory on all the things you do have. Right? Maybe you've been blessed with great health, or you were just able to buy your first home. Ultimately, right, you're not on the street. Most of us are able to go to bed at night and at least go to bed with a full belly. We're able to have shelter over our head. But just take inventory for the blessings in your life and the things you do have, and allow yourself to feel gratitude for those. And then take that gratitude you're feeling for those good things in your life and expand it further and feel gratitude for those who made it possible. Right? Could be, neighbors and coworkers or other people. Ultimately, right? It's God or Buddha or Allah or whoever you ultimately believe in as a supreme being, or if you don't, the universe at large has provided that for you. And allow yourself to just feel gratitude for that, and you'll feel a lot more peace and happiness. And that gratitude will fill the void left by cutting jealousy and greed out of your life. And then lastly, replace selfishness with selflessness. It is impossible to feel badly about people that we serve. It's impossible to feel negative emotions when you're giving of yourself. And ultimately, service and selflessness, it makes it much easier to feel gratitude. It makes it much easier to feel loving kindness and to act that way towards those around us. And as you do so, as you're giving of yourself to others, you ultimately end up caring for that person. I heard a religious leader say once, right, that if you just treat everybody that you meet as if they're going through something just really hard in their life, that you'll be right more than 50% of the time. And I've ultimately found that to be true. And when I approach other people as if they're having a hard time and try to have compassion for them, a lot of times you do find out that things are really hard for them. Everybody's trying to make it, and we all have different trials and challenges in our life. But doing so has allowed me to feel more compassion and caring and love for everybody that I meet and everybody that I encounter, and it has been truly a freeing blessing. But don't beat yourself up. Don't try to scale this mountain just all at once. Right? Start small. Change takes time. Change is really, really hard. But I promise you that as you take some of these challenges and really start filling your life with good positive energy, you'll get more of it in return. Right? As the law of attraction says, you get more of what you put out there, and what you give, you get more in return. So try this out and see the difference that it starts making in your life. But all the best in your efforts, all the best in your journey to finding your ultimate happiness and success.